Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are going to be taking a good look at Audiomodern's Riffer. So Riffer is a really great MIDI controller, okay? In fact, it's fantastic. You can do some very cool stuff with Riffer. The great thing is you have it's basically four Riffers in one Riffer, and you can send each of these Riffer channels to different synthesizers. So to do that, first of all, we need to do some setting up, right? So you pick your four synths that you want to use. In my case, I'm using Solderbox, Microwave 1, BA1 from Baby Audio, and SynthMaster 2. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, the very first thing before you do anything else, is click on the little toaster icon here. In fact, I'll take it off KeyStep Pro because I was just, getting the sounds. So click on the little toaster icon, scroll down to the bottom where you see channel filter. You click none and then click one. Okay. Now you can change these channel routings in Riffer, but this is the default. So it's obviously the easiest way to set up if you're getting started sort of thing. So click on the toaster icon again, scroll up, select none for the channel filter, then just select number 2. And then for microwave, we just do the same thing. We select none and then 3. Of course, if we wanted one of the Riffer channels to play 2 synths on a particular channel, we could select 2 again or 3 or whatever, but let's keep it straightforward. Solderbox will do the same thing. We shall select none and then select 4. Right, okay. Let's go into our Riffer now. Actually, before we do that, let's click on the little toaster icon here. And where it says Riffer output, click on this and just click all 4 of these. That's all you need to do. Whatever synths you've got loaded up, just click them to select them and it's done. Okay. So if we look at Riffer now, all 4 of these it'll all be exactly the same. It'll all be empty. And you'll see that the key will be C minor. I'll just set this to C pentatonic major. Okay, and if we go to R2, you'll see that that's C minor still. So let's put that onto pentatonic major. R3, we'll go to pentatonic major. And R4, we will also go to pentatonic major. Now, what we have now, if I go to number 1 and I just generate, but first of all, because it's a bass sound, that SynthMaster 2 preset is a bass. I want to limit the range of this. Okay, so we know the bass note is C and it'll start at C3. If I move this little slider here, I'm going to just slide this down till we find C2 as the bottom note here, right? And I can also increase or decrease the range. Okay, so maybe I only want an octave's worth of range there for that bass. So I'm going to go to C3 there. So C2 to C3. And all I'm going to do now is click generate. And it's going to generate a MIDI pattern for us within the boundaries of what we've set. Okay, so if we click play, we're just going to hear that bass line from SynthMaster. And it's running at 1/16th resolution. No shuffle, but you can shuffle everything. You can choose the amount of steps and how it loops. The root note, we can tie notes together. So for example, if there are 2 notes, they'll be tied together. So if you randomize, so you've got a couple of random notes here. But you can also just put notes in and you won't go wrong. You'll still be in pentatonic major. Okay, so that's very cool beans. If we want our pattern to randomize, we can set how many times we'd like to randomize per resolution, per travel. So if I click this now, it will randomize each time within the parameters if we've set. And then we can change this, obviously. We can go you can go as many as you like, probably up to about 16 probably. Let's see how many we can go up to actually. No, we can go as much as we like. So let's go back down to have this randomized just for once now. And I'll leave it switched off. Okay. Next, we can change the direction, so we're going forward now, we could go backwards, and all this is independent. You'll see all this will change, but it's all independent pair. It's like having 4 riffers in one riffer, which makes it brilliant for this kind of very cool generative sequencing stuff. Kind of almost, well, this is like almost Berlin school kind of Tangerine Dreamy type bass, right? Let's give that bass a bit more welly, eh? Okay, nice. So say for instance we're happy with that at a 1/16th resolution and everything is fine, and we've got tide notes turned on just in case there are any. Now it's going backwards, but we can go backwards and forwards, so we can ping pong, which gives further variation. You can also choose the range of steps here. And you can also do this the other way. So you can get some cool polyrhythmic stuff going on. Let's leave this just set at there. Now, if you want to, the thing is, it could be tedious if we're on pentatonic major and we want to change all of these, which we have. But say, for example, just to save time, you wanted to make adjustments to all channels. So click on all, and let's choose pentatonic minor. And you'll see that all of our channels have now changed to pentatonic minor, which saves us loads of time. So let's leave it on pentatonic minor. Let's switch all off. I'm going to go to, and it's same with the randomization, the generation, all out the cool stuff. Let's show you a couple more things on R1. We can go down in octaves, down 2 octaves or plus 2 octaves. You have different controls here, so this is kind of duration, so gating, all very cool. Velocity, so for example, well, it would depend if the synth is set up to take velocity into consideration, so obviously. Now density, this is like a ratcheting, so for example, okay, so that sounds pretty cool. It's a tide note, so we can go quite extreme. Let's leave it at that. You can reset the density or anything else by just clicking on this here. Okay, let's put them back in. That's quite cool. Okie dokie, let's go back to pitch. And now let's go to R2. Let's set the resolution for R2 at, say, 1.8. And just randomize it. We can put notes in, right? Because we're still going to be, you know, but we can very, very cool, right? So let's do something for number 3 now. Let's leave it at 1/16th and just see what happens when we generate a pattern. Maybe 1/4. Put a few ratchets in, I suppose. Cool beans. And let's switch our randomization on for this one. And since it's running quite slow anyway, and maybe have it ping pong. So it'll give the impression of it changing all the time, because it actually is. You can lock notes and steps, like notes or steps, and for randomization. So if I randomize this now, it will keep the same note line. See, nothing will ever get randomized on this B. If we turn that off, of course, well, we could get anything that goes in with that sequence sort of thing. So let's do number 4. And I want this to be a higher range. So the thing to realize, the range is whatever you see on the screen. If I do this now, if I move this kind of upper range now, we'll kind of just take this down, let's see, to about here, but decrease. Let's decrease the amount of notes sort of thing, okay? So let's randomize now and play. Now, because C and A are relative, it should sound pretty cool if I just change this one, which is solder box, to A. And maybe this one as well. But it gets really cool. It gets really cool when we start to change the key for all. Nice. Okay, so here's another cool thing. Presets. Click on presets. All you need to do, if we play this right, all you need to do to save a preset is long hold, just hold, and it'll flash, and that's that preset saved, okay? So let's do this now. Let's kind of long hold 2, and that's that preset saved. So if I go back to 1 now, it'll change. So let's try something a little bit more extreme. I've got all switched on, so it's all changed to a quarter. Let's change this to have this at say 1/8 and long, and let's have this on an E. Save that as number 3. Again, I'll save it. So you can create really interesting, and you can set this up to change with MIDI as well. And of course now, let's go back. Let's maybe save this one as 4. Go to number like this one and change the res. Awesome stuff. Got set on 2. Let's look at solder box. Let's increase the range. Sounds good. So maybe we can goes to all and decrease the range for all of them. The cool thing is now you can just go in and change the sounds as well. Look at solder box. Let's look at R4. Click that off. And take that down an octave. Awesome stuff. Let's go to all. Start changing the scale. There you go, guys. And I got the BPM set at 180 as well, but you can set it to anything you like. But you can get incredibly ambient if you set all this stuff like really, really slow. Right, we've got one there, and then you've got, maybe you could have this just on one every single time, and then this one's set also maybe at just a quarter. And then you kind of, I mean, that sounds a bit weird, but if you then start to bash loads of reverb and things on, it just starts to sound awesome. You can get it to sound really, really great. Anyway, listen, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope if you've got Riffer, it gives you a few cool things you could do. Don't forget, you've always got these 4 Riffers. And of course, Riffer is an AUV3, so you can set up another one, set the settings kind of the same, and then just expand even further as much as your device can deal with. So yeah, awesome stuff. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a Patreon. And I will see you later. I hope you are all enjoying the holiday season so far. Anyway, top job, cool beans. Anyway, yeah, awesome. I'll see you guys later. Ta-ra. Let's just play around with this for a minute. Let me get it going again and see if we can. That sounds very strange.